Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me who I am, then my name is Sumbul and I'm a graduate student at the University of Edinburgh studying psychology. And in this video, I want to talk about the importance of sleep and how one can get a good night's sleep. Let's start with the importance of sleep, and I want to begin with some quotes which I'm pretty sure you're aware of them, like I will sleep when I'm dead, or there will be plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead. So what I feel is that, first of all, these are some very, very bad advices, and these people were wrong. And I'm pretty sure, secondly, is that if you are not going to sleep enough or you're not going to get a good night's sleep, then probably, I'm pretty sure you're going to die a lot earlier. We look at sleep not as a necessity but as a luxury, and whenever we feel overwhelmed or overburdened by anything, like something that's going on at our work, number one thing that we sacrifice is sleep. It is true that sometimes we are bounded by extraordinary circumstances, like something has come up at the 11th hour and demands our attention, or couples having a newborn. I'm not talking about those circumstances, I'm not talking about those people also. But in general, what I feel is that when things are relatively normal, then also people don't prioritize their sleep because they just think it is not important. And number one reason why people do that, I believe, is that because they don't actually understand the importance of having a good night's sleep. Before we begin how to get a good night's sleep, I think it's equally important to emphasize upon why it is important in the first place to have a good night's sleep. Now, this is from Harvard University, and researchers have actually come across many health hazards that are actually associated with insufficient sleep. So I have taken this from Harvard Health, and as you can see, health consequences of insufficient sleep. People who skimp on sleep face a higher risk of numerous health problems. Like, such people are more prone to depression and anxiety, they're more likely to catch a cold, there's a boost in their blood pressure, and they're very likely of suffering from a heart attack, and also their whole metabolism gets affected as well. So this is why I think it's important to understand the consequences of not sleeping enough. Now, coming on to how to get a good night's sleep so that we are more productive, efficient, and we are much more happier and satisfied in our lives. Number one reason why I never, and I literally mean never, have trouble with my sleep is because I always have this consistency when it comes to my sleep. I sleep for the same amount of hours and I go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. No matter what day it is. Is it Sunday? Is it Monday? Is it Friday? It doesn't matter to me. I always have this consistency, and this consistency actually prevents me from getting my sleep-wake cycle or circadian rhythm to get disrupted. So I think it's a very important reason. Consistency is very important when it comes to having a good night's sleep. Consistency is very important, as I just said, but it doesn't matter and it is not enough if we are waking up at the same time and going to sleep at the same time if we are not sleeping for the adequate number of hours. An adult human body actually requires approximately 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I have been sleeping for 7 hours every single day. But recently I have come to realize is that when I'm sleeping for like 8 hours, then I'm much more efficient and productive throughout the day. So adequate amount of hours, sleeping for the adequate amount of hours is also very, very important. So just try and see if you are comfortable sleeping, if you are much more productive sleeping for 7 hours or 8 hours. Now the question isn't about undersleeping or oversleeping, it's about sleeping for the adequate number of hours. Alcohol comes under the category of drugs that we call sedatives, and by the very word sedative, we think it will induce sleep. However, that is not true. That's not true at all. Alcohol consumption later in the day affects our REM sleep or rapid eye movement. And rapid eye movement sleep or REM sleep is very, very significant and important for our emotional as well as for our mental health. Now, caffeine is a stimulant, and coffee, which contains caffeine, is good if you are consuming it during the day, but it is not so good if you're drinking coffee like in the afternoon or at night. It takes about 4 to 6 hours for caffeine to get metabolized in our body, which means if we drink coffee at around 4 p.m., then only half of caffeine has been processed through by 10 p.m. Like half is still there. And that obviously is going to affect our sleep significantly. Now, there are people who face no issues no matter they're drinking coffee at 4 p.m. or 10 p.m. It just doesn't bother them at all. But for majority of people, caffeine actually has a lot of side effects. So watch out for what your body is trying to tell you and just understand if you should be drinking coffee later in the day. Our environment matters a lot when it comes to our sleep. So make sure that your bedroom is comfortable enough. Ideally, it should be dark, it should be cool, and it should be quiet. Temperature of the room should not be too cold or it should not be too hot. Otherwise, it is going to affect your sleep significantly. Having a sleeping ritual is very crucial in this modern world because let's just accept the fact that we are living in the 21st century and it is all full of distractions. And having a sleep ritual actually sort of gives a signal to our brain that our bedtime is near and it's just time to prepare for bed. Some people prefer keeping their phones away an hour or two before it's time for bed. Some people prefer taking a bath. So just figure out what works out for you and try and develop a sleeping ritual because that just might help you. If you have been following my channel, then you probably know that I prioritize exercise a lot. I think exercise is very, very important. And obviously, not just for our physical health, but also for our emotional and our mental health as well. Now, exercise is important, as I just said, but exercising later in the day can be a little bit stimulating. So, try go out for a walk or even do some light stretching, but intensive workouts should be avoided. Beds should be reserved for sleep because when we do our daily activities in our bed, then our brain sort of gets confused whether it is for sleeping or whether it's for work. So try and have a separate space for your work and a separate space, obviously, your bed for sleeping. I think bed should be a stimulus for sleeping and not for work. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed watching this short video and don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you stay tuned for some more interesting videos.